All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Catherine. Excuse my voice, I'm a little hoarse, but my name is Catherine. I'm from SEB Housing, and this is the lottery for the four affordable homes in this second phase of homes at Harmony in Bellingham, Massachusetts. And I'm going to get the lottery drawing underway in just a few moments. Before I do that, just want to give you some background information on who applied and all of that. All of this information will be given to you in a printout that will be attached to the lottery results later on this evening. So the session is being recorded, as you heard when you came into the meeting room, and it will be posted on SEB Housing's YouTube channel later on tonight. And that's so anyone who was not able to join us tonight that wants to view the drawing is able to do that. If you have any questions during the session, you can go ahead and type them into the Zoom chat or just unmute yourself and ask. So for some background information on the lottery pool, there's four total of affordable homes. Like I mentioned, all of them are 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And one of the homes will be sold to a household with a total household income below 50% of the area median income for Bellingham. Two homes will be sold to households with incomes in between 50 and 80% of AMI, and one home is reserved for a household with a total annual household income between 80 and 120% of AMI. So there were a total of 59 households who completed their lottery applications. So there's 59 households in the lottery. For the one home that was the 50% AMI pool, there were 40 applicants. 21 of those applicants are type 4 households. So your household type was listed on your confirmation email for this lottery that had your lottery application number in it. There were 11 type 3 households, 4 type 2 households, and 4 type 1 households. Type 4 households have priority on all of these waiting lists because these are 4-bedroom homes. For the 2 4-bedroom homes that are 80% AMI, there were 14 applicants. 6 of those applicants are type 4 households, 5 are type 3, 1 household is a type 2 household, and there are 2 type 1 households for those units. For the 120% of AMI home, which also has local priority, there were 5 applicants, and 1 of those households is a type 4, 3 are type 3, and 1 household is type 2. So you should already have your lottery application number that was sent to you when you were approved for this lottery by email, and that's the number that's in the form of a series of numbers. So in this case, it's between A.001 and A.059. Let me know if you don't have that or if you forgot it. I won't be calling out anyone's name in the lottery. That number is what is going to be drawn during the lottery tonight. And like I said, all of this information is going to be sent to you later on tonight with the waiting list after I have sorted the results from tonight's lottery. So again, just keep in mind that in general, larger households are going to have priority for larger units. So type 4 households are going to have priority on all the waiting lists for these units. And after tonight, I'll be sorting the results onto the waiting list. Keep in mind that, everyone is going to be drawn in the drawing tonight, and not everyone applied or is eligible for, in this case, all of the AMI unit amounts. So you're only eligible for either the 50% units, the 80% units, or the 120% units. So that's why I need to sort the results afterwards. And tonight during this lottery drawing, you're not going to know where you fall on the waiting list. So that will come later on. So when I do the drawing, I'm going to be using a website called random.org, and I'll be inserting the application numbers for the 59 households into the list randomizer function, and it will digitally generate a random order. So we're doing it that way to try to keep the results as random as possible. I will do a demonstration in just a minute so you can see how that works before I do the actual drawing. The randomization is instantaneous, so you'll see the results of the drawing on your screen because I'll do the screen share for that. So let me just show you what that looks like. I'm going to really quickly just share my screen. And so you'll see this is the website, random.org. I'm going to go down to list randomizer, and I'm going to put in 5 numbers, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I put in your lottery application numbers, it will be in the format that you have them. So A.001, for example. So this isn't the lottery drawing, this is just a simulation. So I'm going to click randomize, and it's going to basically spit back out a random order of the numbers 1 through 5, as you can see them here. A little strange that it came out that way. It doesn't normally come out in order like that. But you'll see how that works again in just a minute when I put in the lottery application numbers. All right. So, like I said, following the drawing tonight, I will sort the results. There will be an email sent to you from info@sebhousing.com, and that email includes next steps in the process and a summary of a lot of the information that was shared on the lottery pool and the applicants that applied for this lottery. The sorted waiting lists are going to be attached to that email, and you'll notice that the top households on each waiting list will be highlighted in green. Those are the households that are going to be contacted separately about next steps in the process, because you will be moving forward to the next step, which is to supply all of your income, asset, and tax documentation to SEB Housing. So we'll be able to confirm your eligibility for the affordable housing program. Because remember, up until this point, although you have a mortgage pre-approval, you have not submitted your income, tax, or asset documentation to SEB Housing. So since there are more applicants than there are available units, once these waiting lists are established, if you're not one of those top households on the waiting list, you're not going to be moving forward right away. However, if someone ahead of you on the waiting list either drops off, or they ultimately are denied, or no longer want to purchase one of these homes, you will be contacted as we move down the waiting list. Just a final note too before the drawing, so you have to maintain eligibility through closing. So just remember to hold on to your updated income information, like pay stubs, bank statements, that sort of thing, since we will be asking for updated information from you when we do a second review closer to your closing date. And the purpose of that second review is to confirm that you're still eligible for the affordable housing program at the time that you're actually purchasing the home. And just a reminder, SEB Housing, we're still going to be involved throughout the closing process, but following the lottery, you will be put in touch with the sales team over at Harmony, so you'll be able to schedule a tour, reserve a unit if you're moving through the process, and sign your purchase and sale agreement to move towards closing on one of these homes if you are one of the top households on the waiting list after the drawing. So are there any questions before I do the actual lottery drawing? I'm going to go back to random.org, and I'm going to make sure that I have all of the lottery application numbers ready to go. I'm going to share my screen again as well. So I have an Excel sheet here with the 59 lottery application numbers. So I'm basically taking all of those, and I'm going to put them into this list randomizer. So there's 59 application numbers here. When I click randomize, it will reorder them, and that will be the lottery drawing for the affordable homes at Harmony in Bellingham. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to pause so you're able to see the results on the screen and all of that. So this is a lottery drawing for Harmony. I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to copy the results into that Excel sheet that I just had, so it's a little easier for us to take a look at the results. So just bear with me one moment. And again, these are not the waiting lists. I will scroll down in just a moment there for you. Okay, so that was I know it was super quick, but that was the lottery drawing, and all of these numbers are now in an order that I'm going to use to be able to sort the results onto the different waiting lists. We don't know if the person who has the first lottery number here is, applied for a 50% unit, or if they're qualified for a 120% unit. We don't know if they're a type 4 household or not. So that's the sorting that I need to do after the fact. I'm going to scroll down so you can see where your lottery number fell, just because you'll have an idea at that point as to what to expect. So I have a question here. It's just a direct message, but I'll answer verbally. So it says, if someone didn't get a number, does that mean they're not in the lottery? Yes, you would have received an email with a lottery application number by email from SCB Housing. It would be from info@SCB Housing. It would have had an attachment to it for the documentation requirements guide. If you had been approved, you would have been informed. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. As you can see, the first lottery application number that was drawn was A.026. And I'm going to scroll down. The order drawn is on the left, and the lottery application numbers are listed on the right there. If you don't see your number, if you want me to look it up for you, I can do that. Just go ahead and put your number in the chat, and I can look it up for you. But again, these results don't tell you a whole lot right now, but it is, the lottery drawing. Obviously, we want to be transparent and show you that the lottery drawing took place. It was random, and this is just one step in the process. So we're able to now do the sorting. Okay, so the first one I see here is A.002. You were drawn second. A.002, A.039. You were drawn 22nd. Oh, I think I skipped 042. You were drawn 18th. Yep, so question here, you'll reach out via email if we're at the top of our type. Yep, so if you were, you will get a copy of the waiting list after they're sorted. I plan to do that tonight, so you should have an email from me tonight, sometime before 9 or 10. And so you'll have that information. If you have any questions for us once you see the results on the waiting list, please let us know. And that's that. So does anybody else want me to look up the number, your lottery application number? Or I know that there was only 59 numbers, so you might have been able to see it on the screen here. And so those waiting lists, like I said, they will come from info@scbhousing.com. That email will have the breakdown of how many households applied for the 50% units and 80% and 120%. Okay, so a couple more here. Number A.0011, sorry, .011. My 11 is not coming up here. Hold on a second. 11 was 43rd. And 58. I don't know why I'm having trouble with this here. All the numbers are here. 58 was drawn #20th. 58, you were 20th. 41, you were drawn 28th. 45. 45, you were drawn 48th. Direct message here. Will the applicant that wasn't in the lottery receive an email telling them the reasons their application didn't get in? Yes. If you were denied for the lottery, or if anyone was denied for the lottery, there would be an email that was sent. I know that some emails went out. They should have been last week if there was last minute denials. Number 4. Sorry, guys. I don't know why this is doing that. 4 is 33rd. I'm not going to copy and paste the list into the chat just because I'm going to close the call in just a moment. And again, these results are not the results of anything but the drawing. So I don't want to cause confusion in terms of having this list being looked at after tonight. Anyone else?
Yeah, what was the place of 44?
Sure, number 44. You were drawn 42nd.
Okay. And you said this doesn't really, this just how it randomized. So now you have to draw them in each section, like the type 1, 2, 3, and 4, and income brackets.
Yep. So I have to sort the results after tonight, and this is just a lottery drawing. It's not really telling you, where you're going to fall on the individual waiting list.
Can I please ask about 47?
Yep. So first I see here number 4.
Just gonna get some rice for me. I'll be right back.
Number 4 was 33rd. Number 47, you were drawn 26th.
Thank you.
Sure. And so when will people know that where they fall on individual lists? The email with the lottery, with the waiting list will be sent to you tonight. So you should have that by 9 or 10 tonight, at the latest tomorrow morning. And I have a message here too. So anyone who thinks they submitted everything and didn't get a final response from SEB Housing, please respond to us at info, INFO at sebhousing.com. So my colleagues that were reviewing the applications will be able to get back to you on that. Anyone else before I close out, and then I'll be working on. Oh,
hello.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Hello. Yes. Hi. I'm number A026, and it shows it's number 1 in the list.
Yep. A.026.
Yeah. So what does it? So the lottery, it's already done. Yeah. I'm the first one.
This was the lottery drawing, and then now I have to sort the results onto the waiting list. So I'm going to be looking at the household type and the and whether or not you qualified for 50%, 80%, or 120% AMI unit. So I'm sorting the results onto the waiting list tonight, and those waiting lists are going to be sent to all lottery applicants by later on tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, and then question here, number 19, yes, that was drawn 45th. So that was A.019, that's 45th.
How many applicants were there at the 120% home?
Yes, there were, and this will be in the email too. There'll be a breakdown of that. There was 5 applicants for that 120% home, 14 applicants for the 80% AMI homes, and 40 applicants for the 50% AMI home or home. Anyone else? Again, you can expect that email to come from info@sebhousing.com. So that'll have the waiting list attached to it. It will also have the breakdown of the lottery pool, how many applicants per unit, and that sort of thing. Yep, the 50% units had 40 applicants, 40. That was the most popular by far, which is usually the case.
And how many for the 80?
That was 14. Yep. So you'll see those waiting lists later tonight. And again, if you have any questions on it, or for anyone who thought that they would be in the lottery or didn't get a final email from us, please follow up so we can make sure that everything is squared away with that.
And will there be a chance to view the homes, or will that only be for like the top applicants?
So my understanding is that the sales team will be doing tours for applicants who have been approved by SEB Housing. So it would only be the top applicants that are invited to move forward. At that point, they'd be able to schedule the tour.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm sorry, you might have mentioned, but the middle the middle income, the 50, was it the 50 to 80 or the 80 to 100, the middle one? How many applicants was it for that one?
There was 14 for the 50 to 80.
Okay, and then there was the what, 80 to 100, the third
80
one?
to 120 had 5
One.
applicants. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you all. And like I said, expect that email to come from me or from info@sebhousing.com later on tonight, tomorrow morning at the very latest. So if you have any questions on it or on the results of the waiting list, let us know. Thank you all for joining and have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.
It's me.